My name's Noah. This is Ivy. I'm the Branch Campus Worship Pastor.
Noah and I have been married for 14 years, and about year 9, we really started feeling that inkling in our heart to pursue adoption. We already had 2 boys, Samuel and Zeke, and so as the Lord began to put on our heart this process of adoption, it was a little terrifying because you didn't know where we should go, who we should go for, but we just said yes. We just said yes to the Lord, and He led us to this beautiful little girl named Ruby. And 5 years later, we were in this process, ready to go get Ruby. And COVID happened and it delayed the process even longer than we anticipated. And recently found out that we are not going to be able to pursue this adoption with her no longer. With the heartache of a failed adoption, of course, comes a lot of questions, a lot of disappointments that a lot of people face. You know, we're not the first failed adoption and it won't be the last. And we just really leaned into the fact that God is faithful and He can offer peace in the midst of circumstances falling apart. That even when it feels like everything is out of our control, that God is in control.
In the midst of our adoption process and the whole stalling, I remember one time you had said, "Hey, babe, like I wish God would move this mountain." But when I read in Scripture, many times the mountains don't move automatically. God didn't move the Red Sea; He just made a way for them to get through it. And so I remember saying, "Hey, like we need to write a song about that." And so we began to write this song. Got me through to encourage people. Everybody's not going through an adoption process like we are going through our circumstance, but the one thing that we know is that there are people out there saying, "God, I wish that you would move the mountain," and saying, "Lord, why hasn't the mountain moved?" And I'm asking you, God, move the mountain, move the mountain. Lord, I don't want to go into the fiery furnace like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but here's the one thing that we had talked about when we wrote this song. We said, you know what? He may not move the mountain. He may not take us out of this circumstance, but the one thing He'll do is He will be with us in that moment. He will get us through. And so that's why we wrote the song, Got Me Through.